What's up, everybody? Michael Ninja's back at it again. You know how I like to do it. Press record and speak what's on my mind. All right, y'all. Welcome. Thank you again. Welcome back. Probably hear an airplane going over. It don't matter. Michael Ninja does it raw. So check this out. 5 tips. You probably saw my other video, 5 tips on service industries. Go ahead and check that one out. But check this one out. 5 tips for service industry managers or managers in general, okay? Because I've been working in places and I've seen how managers are, and I was a manager myself for 15 years in the hotel hospitality industry. So I feel that I'm going to take this time to just pass on small tips and pointers to help up-and-coming managers move ahead. Now, people that have used this technique has moved up into their own account and even further. So check this out. I'm going to go with my 5 tips for service industry managers. Okay? Feel free to use this. Hit like, share, subscribe. Check this out. 1. Got my CBD blunt. Check it out. Managers. If you're a manager, keep this in mind. These are tips and techniques that I use, that other people have used, and has bettered their situation. Now, managers are the middleman. Middleman. You're the middleman. You're the middleman between the companies and the customer. Okay? You're the middleman between the company and the customer. You provide, translate to the company all the customer's transaction and so on and so forth, concerns, which you're going to handle hopefully professionally. Okay? Now, managers are also the middleman between customers and employees. You have to know this. This is your role as a manager. Yes, you are the middleman between customers, employees, and the company, your boss. Okay, the main corporate company and the customers. 2. The manager's responsibility is to oversee. Look down, not look down on, but to look down on the productivity and the responsibilities of each employee or sections that you have set up in your operation. You feel me? You're the overseer of production and productivity. That means you're there to... Let's move on. Now, 4. As the manager, you are and have the power to mediate disturbances. Yes. So you come in between. Anytime a customer has an issue with your employee, you should be prepared to step in the situation and control the situation. Meaning, you pull your assistant to the side, out of the situation, the confrontational situation. Okay? Speak with your employee prior to speaking to the customer. You want to get a plan of action and an understanding of the situation wholly, all of it, before you go and speak with the customer. Try to find out what the customer's angle and complaint, because sometimes they're having a bad day and they're taking out on the customer, on the associate, for one, probably just being slow. But that's okay, because sometimes the associates are slow because they're serving the person that's in front of them, offering them service. So you got to understand that the first person used to be the last person in line. So you have to respect each and every person that comes before you. Don't ever worry about the person that's in the back. Never worry about the last person. You feel me? The best way to assist and attend the last person is by the time they get up to you, you haven't rushed through everybody else. Because once they get to you, you're going to rush to them to get to the person behind them. So the key idea, the key thing is to assist the person immediately in front of you with the best service you can, with a smile, with eye contact. Okay, whatever their problem is not your problem. Don't take that energy. Don't take that problem on. It's not yours to take on. Your only duty is to provide the service that you are there for. If it's not something that you cannot do, point them in the best possible direction. And that's the best thing you can do. All right, let's move on. That and the manager should always, before we move on, that and the manager should always protect the employee at all times, at all costs. What do I mean? If the customer takes it to a physical level, the manager, not fight for you, but the manager should automatically, again, pull the associate from the situation where they're in a safe situation. Okay? Now, let's move on. 5. This is the part nobody likes. Managers are in the position to reprimand. Okay? Now, as for me, as a manager, I never reprimanded anybody unless it got physical. Until then, it was a coaching council, or I believe what I considered is a note of conduct in their file, in their employee file. Okay, that way you can go back and reference it in case this employee has made multiple incidents that will reflect negative on the company. Now, 5, again, manager reprimand. Now, if you're a manager, keep this in mind. Never, ever reprimand your associate in front of everybody. The clients, the customer. Never belittle, never berate the employee. Okay? Never take the situation personal as well. Always take the employee to the office, somewhere secluded, away from other people. Okay? If you have to, have a witness with you to witness the situation and the outcome or the confrontation. The coach and counseling. Not confrontation. Confrontation leads to and possibly a fight. So never delegate. Never delegate your punishment to another manager or someone other than yourself that you know the reason why you want to write that employee up. Okay? You saw the infraction. You noticed it. You identified it. You need to sit that employee down. Okay? Lay out your expectation. Lay out their infraction. Lay out a solution to their infraction. Okay? Give them a solution. Then follow it up with, if none of these are done, your foresight would be, your future with us would be terminated. Or you'll be written up again. Or X, Y, and Z. You get me? But never do that in front of other people. Never berate an employee. Never get to a situation where you take it personal. Where it's highly confrontational. Never, never, never. All right. So now, this brings us to a bonus tip. Bonus tip is, you already know, managers are in charge of monies, in charge of revenues, okay? In charge of losses. Losses is also fits in revenues, okay? So bonus tip, companies love managers that maximize revenue, and minimizes expenses. Minimize expenses. Maximize revenue, minimize expenses. Okay, that means save the company money, save losses. Okay, now as a manager, what I used to do is, okay, now there's managers. Let me warn you. There's managers out there who make bonuses off of you working harder and them not scheduling the maximum amount of people that they're allowed. If they work underneath that, they get a bonus for that. Remember that. Fuck those managers. If those managers aren't breaking that bonus off with the staff and they're keeping it for themselves, those are the managers that you don't want. Okay? Keep in mind, choose the moral managers over the immoral managers and corrupt managers. If they're immoral, they're corrupt. Keep that in mind. Now, they love managers that reduce losses, and if my staff reduce the losses, which you know what losses is, like overusing products or overusing products. Like if you're in fast food and you cook X amount of burgers and it goes to waste, you got to throw it away, or you got to use it to some, they kind of like move it into a different facet of selling it, so they minimize their loss. Okay, well, office spaces, if you turn off computers that aren't being used, turn off lights and stuff in conference rooms that's not being used, don't have so many things plugged in. These are ways to minimize electric costs, and expenses, so on and so forth. Now, I'll let you worry about that. So then, if they were able to minimize losses or reduce losses, I would make sure that they gain income. So my best employees got more hours. My best employees got the best hours. My best employees got the days that they needed off, as long as they give me proper notice. Again, follow rules. Follow company rules. If it was overtime, they'd be the first one to get overtime. Now, the people that lacked in duties, if I was to ask them to do a task or something and they just did it the most pathetic way, then I retrain them. If their work continues to become pathetic, that lets me know that they don't want to follow rules, they don't want to partake in the productivity, they don't fit that position. Then they'll slowly begin to feel less and less monetary gain in their pockets. You feel me? Less and less. That means their hours get cut. That means people are put in position that will uphold that position as necessary, as described in the job listing. You feel me? So as a manager, these are duties that you have to keep in mind. You're the middleman. You're responsible to oversee production. Okay? Don't go in there being macho. Don't go in there trying to be the boss. Okay? You are there to assist the employees. I don't know if you remember that, but that's number 3. You're there to assist the employees. That means if they need anything stocked up, you should be the one doing that. Okay? You should be providing for them. If they need a pen, make sure they have enough pens. If they need a signature on something, make sure you come around to them and get it done. Don't have them come and look for you, leave their post, and so on and so forth. You're the manager, but at the same time, you're the auxiliary to the employee. You're there to back them up. You're there to assist them. Okay? They're there to work for you, yes. But you're there to assist them to provide the best. Now, how does it look that you're a manager trying to run a staff and they don't have what's necessary to do their job? It falls on you. Any manager that doesn't think so, you're a dumbass. You should quit and let somebody smart who watched this video step into that position. Now, if you like this video, hit like, share, subscribe. I'll come out with more videos with tips and stuff like that to help you out. Look, I ain't even finished my CBD blunt. Again, I don't condone smoking. Make sure you pass the drug test for employment before you partake. If you're in a legal state, Fuck yeah. If you're in Texas where it's not, make sure it's CBD, or the cops will be knocking at your door. Somebody will snitch on you, act real funny. You can use this for your employment. If you like this video, let me know. I can make a more professional video for you on an amateur level. With that being said, Michael Ninja out. Peace. Check out my other videos. If you don't like it, fuck you.